zinakuanga very important.
Utekapo hivyo kama bloopers.
Yep. Sana hii.
Sana hii hivyo.
So nice having you, AJ.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, and I'm so proud of you. I am so happy that you've maintained this up. I couldn't miss it. There's no way I was going to, on my way, and I'm just like, no way I am missing this. Hata ningeamka saa 2 ningekuja. Do you know,
this interview might not go the way it's supposed to go, but anyway, it's very important for you to know that I'm always grateful for you. Because if it was not you auditioning me, I think it was on 13th. No, not 13th. I think it was 23rd, not 13th. 23rd of November. 2011. No. Let me surprise you. It wasn't at Segele Arts.
And here I was saying that I'm going to mention Segele Arts and say thank you for Segele Arts allowing me.
No,
it was not at Segele Arts.
It wasn't at Segele Arts. I was just fresh from high school. I had just done my KCSE and I was going around the city looking for places where I could. This poet from high school alikuwa akiperform poetry ya high school ametoka huku nje, and then I got to a notice board. Kitambo ilikuwa ni posters zilikuwa zinawekwa kwa notice board in 3 specific places: United Mall, Mega Plaza and Mega City. So those are the 3 places that I went to, and then I found your advertisement ya event yenye Eunice alikuwa anafanya at Art House. Yes, ile event ya Albert Wandago. Yes. And so I called Eunice, introduced myself. My name is Godfrey. I am a poet and I'd love for you to see what I do. So Eunice tells me we will be having an audition for Extravaganza at PEFA. So please come over. So I go to PEFA. And you come with Eunice Ogot. And that was my introduction to the arts.
I remember.
Yes.
Segele was much later.
Segele was much later. I think a year or 2 later. Yes.
And when I was coming down, I was like, it was Segele. I met him at... No, it was not Segele.
No. It was there, and then we got to get introduced to Akina Blaze, Akina
Amateur.
Yes.
Amateur is that team.
Amateur, and there was is it Klein the poet?
The poet.
And
where
then
did he go?
He's in Nairobi.
Poetry?
No, photography. He is. Oh my goodness, he is such an amazing photographer. He is such an amazing photographer.
I have not been able to contact him for a long time.
He's in Nairobi.
That was our photographer then and graphic designer, a younger kid. What was his name? He moved to Mombasa, came back. I don't remember his name. I don't.
Jim was the one who was doing everything for us. Jim.
Yeah, there was a younger guy who was being mentored when we were down at Clarice's house. Yeah, he used to be on the sound and camera.
Oh.
Yeah. I forget his name though. A young one.
Don't remember.
Very interesting person.
But if it wasn't for that audition on that day,
glad it happened. This wouldn't have happened.
Yes.
That is part of why. And I keep telling myself there is nobody from that team who will ever invite me to anything and I do not show up. Because part of the reasons why you're inviting me is because this is part of the reasons why you're still doing this. You know, no, I have to come. I can't miss.
Wow.
And I said I'm carrying my whole bag because I'm not sure if you only want me to come and listen or if you want me to come and say something about my work or if you only want me to come and display to show people what I do that actually ensured we had that platform where we were showcasing our talents, you know. So I brought myself and said, I'm going to make it by 10. So 10:30 I'm still on the road like, 30 minutes is not so bad. Then I get here and I see the crowd seated. I'm like, you're late. But I'm glad traditional vegetables it sells. Why? Because the reality is here in Kisumu and Siaya and Kenya in general, art isn't giving as fast as much yet. Yeah. But we want to continue doing art without necessarily having to choose something else, so that is the main and art is the side hustle. Yeah, and I'm glad that we have managed to do that, so that the barber shop, the Mkubwa Parlor, is the side hustle. Yeah, I know you're not doing poetry as much anymore, but putting your energy into organizing art events is way bigger than putting out the poetry only.
True.
You know,
True.
and part of the reasons why I moved out, I think I mentioned to you when I wanted AJ to come out, is because AJ was the artist and Janeqo was the organizer. You know, and I understand most artists will also feel the way I do. It gets to a point when you feel I'm not being heard as an artist. Yeah, is it possible for someone else to take charge? Then I can come in as an artist. You know, and Sia has done that for me.
Wow.
Yeah, like there's an event coming up in December where I'm purely artist, and I love that. So that when I come back to Kisumu, I don't feel, when I move back, I won't feel like I'm not expressing myself. I'll know that there's a point where I can go and be artist, and there's a side where I can be organizer, and there's a side where I can be family.
Wow.
Very important.
Wow.
Yeah?
It's been 14 years.
14 years. I was just looking at this. It's 8 years old.
Wow. Next 14 years in Akaze for the creative
Next 14
scene.
years for the creative scene. Let me break it down to the jewelry bit of it. Cottage industry is coming up. I think you see online. I'm
Yes.
and I try to ensure that I keep doing that. So in the next 14 years, it would simply mean that it will be paying back. Yeah, and it will be paying back. The masses are buying it, and not just art lovers and art collectors. That's my aim. That's my objective. That's my goal. Let's put out as much art as we can, so that art is being bought by the masses. Where when I am buying a painting, or if I'm ordering for somebody to do a portrait, it's not because I make 4 million a month or I make 400,000 a month. Let's the border person be able to go to an artist and say, please do my portrait. Let there be so much a bigger market, so much money for the artists, so they're not so expensive. If I do a portrait for say 4,000, but I'm able to get 12 clients in a day, it means I won't feel a pinch if I'm doing them at 2.5. Yeah. So I would love for us to continue having more and more events like this, where more artists get together and listen to each other, and we continue encouraging each other to keep producing art. The more art we have, the more variety and diversity we have, and the more people see the art, the more they're attracted to these interesting things, and the more they are willing now to also own. We live in a world of kufanana, Kenya uniform. How does he have a portrait of himself in the house? And I don't. But for now, we have still kept art in a box where people keep telling me, hey, wazungu wananunua hizi vitu zako.
Yeah.
In my heart, I'm like, na wewe pia ningependa sana kuona wewe umevaa kushinda tao wazungu. Kwa time wanakuja wanajua ni tayari kitu sisi wenyewe tumependa. Tujipende ndio wao watupende.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
So in 14 years time, art will be bought by the masses.
Such kind of spaces coming up, such as Baraza Media Lab. What role do you think it will be playing in the next 14 years to accelerate the growth?
Baraza Media Lab.
Yeah.
We're in a generation of social media, and I'll tell you for free. I openly tell people I'm a millennial, so Why? Because there's artists who are really good at what they're doing, but they are not very friendly with media, social media. And the number one thing that came to my mind when I heard about the Baraza Media Lab is that it will be the one space. It's like it's not a physical space, it's an online space. They can create an online space where artists can converse with each other, where we can put out art for more people to get to see the art that we have. And that would mean that we will be moving it from physical spaces to online spaces, where when we are having any activities in the physical spaces, it simply means that now we are coming to meet the artist that makes what we have seen or what we have heard. You say we do a podcast, people would love to meet Michael Jackson, who sang. Not that they don't like the music, they do. But it's a plus to get to meet Michael Jackson. Now that's how the first thing that comes to my mind when I thought about Baraza Media Lab. They are going to put the artist on a higher platform. It would mean that we no longer will be trying so hard to sell art on the ground, because we have been encouraged and we have been trained, or we've been allowed to explore spaces where we can sell or we can showcase or we can meet others without necessarily having to travel to a spot, a physical spot.
Oh.
Am I right about
you are.
it?
Yes, you are. Told you it wasn't an interview, it was two people catching up.
Storytelling.
That's it. Bye.
Bye.